Hey VC, it's Glen Kellaway from the basement. Just wanted to talk about the great day I had yesterday with Robert Hagerman from Robert's on My Turntable. We went digging for vinyl yesterday in Kingston, Ontario. Robert's already done a video on it, so go over and check his channel and you can see what he found. We left like 9:30 in the morning. It's an hour's drive. Shot the breeze all the way. It's just like we've known each other since we were in kindergarten. Great guy. We get along famously, so it's really nice to make a new good friend. Anyway, we get to Kingston. It was perfect. The one record store opened at 9:30, so by the time we got there, it was open. That was Brian's record store. You open the door, and you're staring at a million albums. Like I'm not exaggerating. I've never seen so many records in a record store. It was crazy. It was overwhelming, actually. So Robert goes off in one direction, and I made a list, and I was looking for a couple of obscure kind of bluegrass albums because I'm really starting to try to build up my bluegrass vinyl collection. And I said to Brian, the owner, "You got any bluegrass?" He takes me down to this section. It's a shelf, and he's probably got about 200 albums, 150, 200 albums in a row there. Flatt and Scruggs, the Osborne Brothers, Jim and Jesse, Bill Monroe, you name it, and then a kind of a miscellaneous section. So I start with Flatt and Scruggs, and I'm going, oh my God, like he had everything. It was incredible. I pulled probably 5 Flatt and Scruggs albums off the shelf and put them down, and then I move on, and I go to Bill Monroe, and I find Bill Monroe's Strictly Instrumental, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, which is really a classic album. I used to have these albums back in the day, and you know they're sadly sold off, so they're not that easy to find in good shape. And he had 2 or 3 copies of Strictly Instrumental. I pulled them off the shelf to check the best one in the best condition. Then I move on and I find David Grisman Quintet, and I'm grabbing those. And it just went on and on and on. I grabbed a stack of about probably 20 or 30 bluegrass albums, and none of them were priced, so I had no idea what was going to happen. So I go up front and I pull them off, put them on the counter, and I said, "Brian, you got to give me some idea. Well, you know, what am I looking at here?" And he was going, "Well, this one's 20, and this one's 10, this one's 20, and this one's 10." And I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, like I need to go see my bank manager and get a loan to buy these records. So once he put the whole stack in front of me, I didn't even ask him for a total. I just knew I couldn't afford them all. So I started to go through, and I picked the ones that I really, really wanted today. And then I'm gonna go back. I'm obsessed. I'm gonna find some extra cash and go back and pick up some of the other ones that I left behind. So I also got some rock records, so they're coming too. Anyway, I want to show you what I got in terms of bluegrass records. Where are they here? Okay, there's about 5 or 6 of them, I think. So first of all, this won't mean much to many of you, but there was a band in the Toronto area called Big Red Ford back in the 70s. Lou Moore, great guitar player. And actually, it's funny, I had met Lou before. A friend of mine had played in a band with him. He's a great guitar player, and that's autographed by Lou Moore, which is funny. The banjo player in this band, John Saunders, incredible. He was, I've never heard anybody play a banjo as well as him, except maybe for Bela. The guy was amazing. He left Toronto and moved to the States, into Ohio, and I lost track of him. Ran into him at a music festival. His band, Ohio band, bluegrass band, was playing at it, so we got a chance to chat. And after that, I've never heard what happened to him, but amazing musician, John Saunders. Anyway, Big Red Ford is the name of the band. So this won't mean much to many people, but in Canada, this is, in Toronto, whatever, this is a pretty killer album. They do a version with bluegrass instruments of Django Reinhardt's Stompin' at Decca. Incredible. I'm gonna do a needle drop on that one of these days and play it. But I paid $20 for this record, and I don't know if I'll ever see it again. I was shocked that I found it. A record I had 45 years ago in my collection. This is the only Flat and Scruggs record I kept because he wanted like 20 bucks for all of them. Flat and Scruggs at Carnegie Hall. When I did the video with Mazzy, and we did Two Old Men Talking Country and Bluegrass, Mazzy showed this album, and I'd kind of forgotten about it, and I just immediately went, I have to find that record. So I was so surprised when I found it there. It's on the Columbia label. Excellent shape. These records are in really good condition. Some of them, they need a cleaning, but there's no scratches. It's amazing. So yeah, Flat and Scruggs, Carnegie Hall. Can you imagine back in the early 60s, mid 60s, whenever this was recorded? I thought it was like 62 or something. A band like Flat and Scruggs, a bunch of hillbillies at the time, playing at Carnegie Hall. Pretty cool. That just shows how popular they were. Flat and Scruggs, Carnegie Hall. Another album, when I first started getting into bluegrass music, I went to the library and borrowed a couple days to have records there, and I borrowed this record, Al Mundy's Banjo Sandwich. Alan Mundy's a great banjo player too. Alan became quite a student of music. He ended up teaching at a university in Texas or something. I think he teaches a course in music study that may focus on, or may not focus on, bluegrass music. But this is a great, great killer album that's, I would say, impossible to find. And I'm just so excited. I know this doesn't mean much to a lot of you, but oh my God, like, you know, this is like a Beatle fan. This is like a Beatle fan finding a unpeeled Butcher cover. Like, that's, you know, these are rare records. Another one, John Hartford. If anybody watched my channel, you know how much I love John Hartford. He's one of my musical heroes. These records are hard to find, man. They're out of print. Morning Bugle. Great, great album. This is the album just before he released the Aerial Plane album. This is just John Hartford, Norman Blake, and a bass player. It's the three of them playing John's songs. It's just a great album, and a great sounding album too, acoustically. Oh my God, it sounds great. So I bought that for $20 as well. When I got home, I thought, I gotta see if this is on internet anywhere. I went on Discogs. It's anywhere from a $40 to a $70 record. So on Warner Brothers, Morning Bugle. If you like acoustic music, this is an amazing album. Again, just so happy I found that. He had another couple of John Hartford albums there that I just had to leave behind. One more on the bluegrass side of things. The incredible Norman Blake, Whiskey Before Breakfast. This is just Norman Blake playing a D18, Martin, and another guitarist accompanying him. Two guitars playing instrumentals and some old traditional songs. Another album that sounds incredible. It sounds like the guitars are right in the room with you, and the vocals, Norman's got a great voice. Really, really talented guy, Norman Blake. This is on Rounder Records. I'm just so pleased to have these albums. You have no friggin' idea. I'm just, like I said, I'm just sitting here scratching my head how I'm going to get another couple $100 in my pocket to go and buy the rest of them. Okay, so we left that store. What the heck did I do? I lost an album here somewhere. Oh well, I'll just talk about it. We left that store. We went to another store called Something Else Records. It was a smaller store, very well organized. Everything was just, you know, really neat. Even their used vinyl they had like wrapped so you couldn't see it. But so I ended up picking up, I just bought one album there. I had two or three and I put them down. Just, you can only spend so much money. This is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I've been trying to find it on vinyl, and every time I find it, it's all scratched up. They had one they said was in VG plus condition, all wrapped. Deep Purple's self-titled third album. This is MK1 of Deep Purple, the original lineup. This is my favorite Deep Purple album, and just definitely in my top albums of all time. It's just a great record. It's got a wacky cover, Heronius Bosch or whatever it is on the cover. Great album. the cover is like, it looks like I just bought it brand new. Incredible. The record, I put it on when I got home last night. Not a pop or a crackle on it, man. It's just like, just sounded fantastic on Warner Brothers. So glad to have that in my collection. I've been looking and looking and looking for it. And another one of my favorite albums of all time, Joe Walsh, Barnstorm. So yesterday, actually, the reason we went to Kingston yesterday, the number one reason wasn't digging for records. It was because I wanted to upgrade my cartridge on my turntable. So I've been waiting for it to come in. So the guy who I bought it off of, the audio shop in Kingston, Ontario, called Ash Forest. If anybody is in Canada looking for stuff, Greg at Ash Forest in Kingston, Ontario, fantastic guy to deal with. Anyway, so we went in to actually get my cartridge installed. And while I was there, he had a bunch of records on a rack. I said, "They for sale?" He said, "Yeah." So I found Joe Walsh's Barnstorm for $10. Mint condition. Absolutely love this album. If I know a lot of people aren't familiar with this, like Robert when we were there, he said, "Never seen this one before." This is Joe Walsh's best album. Barnstorm. You got to have it. I also picked up Leon Russell's. That's one I can't find. I must have filed it. Leon Russell's Carney album for $5. And John Prine, Storm Wind. Oh, I got that. Oh, here's Carney. There we go. Leon Russell Carney. And John Prine, Storm Windows. It's hard to find these original John Prine albums now too. Since he passed away, he's become like a freaking I don't know. Like it was a good career move for John musically. I'll tell you, people seem to be all over these albums now, and they're hard to find. So I paid $5 for this too, and I'm looking on the internet and on Discogs, and good luck finding a good copy of this cheap. But I love this album actually too. This is 1980, I think John released this. It's probably like his, I'm going to say his 5th or 6th album. John Prine, Storm Windows. So that was it. That was my day. Had a great day. If you don't know Robert from Robert's on My Turntable, you do now. Go and subscribe to his channel. And if you don't know me and you do now, please subscribe to my channel. We both appreciate the support very much. And love everyone. Peace.